Hi there. I'm Kevin E. West, veteran television actor, as well as the president and founder of the Actors Network. We congratulate you on your choice to purchase an ABG video. Our mission? Quite simple, to provide you with the best entertainment education from top Hollywood professionals in the industry. By doing so, you potentially save yourself thousands of dollars as well as years of your life making silly mistakes. ABG videos can be assisting to parents of performers, longtime veterans, as well as beginners. And do trust that the information found on an ABG video is both accurate and cannot be found in one place anywhere else in the world. So with that said, we'll just let the video speak for itself. Enjoy. Mr. David Ziff, aka Ziffy. How are you, man?
How are you?
Good to see you, kind sir.
Nice to see you.
Are you a top professional veteran?
I'm very flattered by that. I don't know if I guess in the scheme of things.
Okay. Just so you know, I wore the pink for you, babe. Why do you love being a commercial agent? Aside from the money. Hello.
Did I at one point say that?
No, I've never said you admitted to. I was asking you.
I'll tell you the truth.
You've been one for a long time.
I have. 12, almost 13 years. I like helping people. It's true. I like working with people. I like getting people jobs. I like advancing their careers, which we can do, you know. It's just fulfilling, you know. It's something that I never thought I'd be doing. I studied acting many years ago, you know, and I always knew that an agent was a very difficult thing to get, but I knew if you had one, they can help you, and you know what? They can, and that's why I really dig it.
And that's the highlight of, let's say, your day is when someone books a job?
No question about it.
I mean, aside from the money?
Aside from the money, yeah. No, other than that, absolutely, no question about it.
Right, okay.
And fortunately, I'm with a nice agency, and we have a great agents and well-respected, and we do book a good amount of people.
Right. Describe what an actor will actually experience if they're ever called in for an interview by your agency and or just individually by you.
Well, first I'll tell you how we find the clients, if you will. We get them through manager referrals, we get them through casting director referrals, we get them through assistant referrals, we get them through showcases, we get them through friends of friends, whatever. You know, there's many different ways. We'll call them, either their manager or whoever set it up. We'll set them up to come in. They'll meet 4 agents. We have 4 on-camera agents. They'll meet all of us. They'll have a time, obviously, and we're always prompt and we're ready. And they bring 4 pictures and resumes and a reel if they have one. This is just so we can peruse, if you will, as we're talking to them. Our interviews are set up in a very casual way, as you would know, because you're a client at the agency. We like to find out a little bit about the client. We don't grill them. We pay attention when they're talking. I heard other agencies, you take phone calls and chit-chat among themselves. We don't do that. This is serious stuff. This is a serious business, you know. We get a good feel from our clients. For a long time, we didn't have them read copy. We just got a good feel from them. You know, it's a gut feeling. So we just ask them questions about their family, about their lives, about their, about their dreams and their goals and things like that. And, you know, obviously when it comes down to it, we start asking questions business related, you know. And that's really it. It's very simple. It's probably, I'd say, you know, maybe 15 or 20 minutes. Sometimes we don't know immediately initially if we're going to accept the client accept the person as a client. Sometimes we know immediately. And sometimes we're disappointed. Someone we're looking forward to meeting just falls flat, you know.
So you guys don't ever really have second interviews?
I got to tell you, Kevin, in the 12 years I've been doing, I don't think I've ever had a second interview. I don't think so. Once in a while, someone will meet a prospective client outside of the agency and bring that person back to meet the other 3 agents. But other than that, we've never had a person come back because we want to get a better feel for them.
Yeah. That's a great answer. So glad I asked that follow-up.
Yeah, you're a genius. And we do have them read too. I told you that we do now, because you flush a lot of people out.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Which is something we probably should have been doing a long time ago, but it's important.
You probably, David, wouldn't be shocked to know that most commercial agencies don't read people, and it boggles my mind.
I know.
Right.
And as actually, I said, we have a New York office, and they said, you don't have people read? We said, no. They said, well, you might want to think about it. We said, okay. Yeah, and it makes a difference.
C.E.S.D is a very large agency with a large commercial department. You guys have 4 commercial agents. So how do you guys split things up? Do you split them up by projects,
Or do you split them up by agents or by casting directors?
We split up the projects through the casting directors.
Right.
Okay, in other words, a casting director, I'll cover, 15 casting directors. The other agents will cover 15 or 20, however many there are. We split it up that way. So we work for all our clients. We just split up the casting directors.
Great.
So,
Gotcha.
there are busy casting directors, and there are ones who are not so busy, or ones who were busy aren't so busy now. So it usually evens out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Honestly, David, come on. How often do you guys, as commercial agents, actually pick the phone up and pitch your clients for a commercial project?
More a few years ago than we do now. And I'll tell you why. Because there are too many people, there are too many clients, there are too many agencies, there are too many agents. It's become more difficult to get them on the phone, even though we are C.E.S.D and we do have their ear. It's just become more difficult. They won't call you back immediately. And when we call someone, when we call a casting director, which we don't do a ton, they know we're very serious about the person. And they'll say, 2 o'clock on Tuesday, have them come in. One of those type of things. But more often than not, it's a note through LA Casting that we can type. We have the capability of writing a note, which we do, and the casting directors read the notes. As I've been told by many casting directors. And they're starting to say on the breakdowns, please write notes, meaning great with improv, from our New York office, wonderful actor, superb with comedy. You should see for this role, whatever it is. It takes the place kind of a phone call now.
Right. That is more of a written pitch now.
Exactly. And that we do a lot.
Right.
A lot.
In today's digital world, having a lot of different pictures for your clients and looks online is easy and inexpensive. But really, how many do you need and how many do you really have of most clients?
Excellent question. It varies from client to client. If I have a very serious looking 70-year-old man who's not going to do much, I'll take 3 or 4 pictures. I'll take a scruffy picture, a business shot, a grandpa, and maybe an outdoorsy kind of picture. If I have someone like you, a guy who can do a lot of different things, who can do the blue collar, who can do the lawyer, who can do the almost not the judge because they're too young, but can do the dad, all those things. How many pictures do you have on? 8, 9?
Right. Do you use them?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
I know. Yep, I know. I know. I have a couple people with maybe 15 pictures online. They're real character actors.
Cool.
I know. I know every picture. I know where they are, because I go through them every single day.
Okay.
And I say to the other agents, have you tried submitting the one with Sheila with the red sweater yet? I know exactly, and I even know where they are. Wow. It's important, man.
What is the most common reason, both for yourself and for the company, why you guys would ever actually drop a client?
Cringy type question. There are a few different reasons, and I'll answer you honestly. You're welcome. The one that comes to mind first, and probably is more often than not the reason, is people don't book. After a while, we're very lenient. We sign people for a reason. We think they're talented. We think there's something about them that we want to represent them. We think they'll be able to book TV commercials. Sometimes we're wrong. Believe it or not, sometimes we're wrong. But we hang in there for a long time. We don't like to be wrong.
What's an example of a long time?
We'll give someone, truthfully, we'll probably give someone up to 3 years without booking a spot. It depends on how close they're getting. Yeah. It depends on how close they're getting. If they get good feedback, it's a game. It's so difficult. There's so many people out there. It's a crapshoot. We have our top 10 clients. They don't book every commercial they go out for. You know what I'm saying? Another reason would be they don't do what we ask them to do, which is some very simple things like book out, get new pictures, keep your resume updated. We have to beg them to do these things. We ask them 3 or 4 times. They're just clearly not interested enough for us.
Hey there, Kevin here again. I just wanted to take a brief moment and offer a few words of wisdom about being an actor, whether you're in Hollywood, Atlanta, or London. As you listen to our carefully crafted questions and the expert veteran answers, bear in mind that each answer could always vary a little if I just simply changed a word or a moment in time, and then applied the answer to someone who looks like you versus someone who looks like me. I mean, the business of being a performer is drastically different than simply the love of performing. Actor Biz Guru is specifically designed to help the performer learn and grow as a product. We're all artistic products for sale, and we come in all shapes and sizes. I mean, we're all right for a job one day and then wrong for it the next. An agent would like to sign someone like you on a Tuesday, but if they've never met you, then they'll fill that slot by Friday. Think of it like dating. In other words, there's a great deal of subjectivity and timing in this crazy business of art. Now let's get back to your video.
Tough question, David, but very important. In the city of Los Angeles today, how many casting directors would you say cast 90% of the commercial jobs that come through annually?
I'd say there's probably, between 70 and 80 casting directors in Los Angeles. And I'd say 90% is very high. I can't go there. I'll say 50, and I'd say 5. Does that make sense to you? We'll drop the percentage to 50, and 5 casting directors cover 50% of the business.
Well, it's important, David, because what you're sitting here telling me is that if an actor comes to Los Angeles, if they can find a way to create a relationship with 5 particular commercial casting directors, then they're going to typically get in for 50% of the jobs annually just by knowing 5 CDs. That's a huge number.
Between 5 and 7.
Right.
You know, I want to push to 10, but I'd be hard pressed to come up with 2 or 3 others. Yeah.
If you're currently taking a meeting with an actor who is currently represented elsewhere and they're looking to make a change, do you really care who they're currently with? And if you were to find out who they're with, would you go and bother to inquire to the other agency about this actor?
No, never.
Hey, listen, David, I know a ton of actors, and I've been asked it dozens of times, who literally know that they've got to leave their agency, and they're out there trying to get a meeting, and they literally show up in fear because they're so afraid that the prospective new agent is going to grill them or somehow going to go call the agency they're currently with and tattletale on them or something.
At the risk of sounding arrogant, we're where they want to be. You know, we're hopefully the number 1 or 2 or 3 agency in Los Angeles. So if you leave us, it's kind of a parallel move, if you will, or a lateral move. But the smaller people with the smaller agencies want to be here, want to be with C.E.S.D. I would never call another agency, but the first part of the question is absolutely it makes a difference where they're from. I won't say anybody. I'm very curious to know why someone would leave another top-notch agency to come to us, especially if they have a track record, especially if they book. I'm more inclined to want to work with that person. If they show me a reel with 50 national network commercials, and the most recent one was done 2 months ago, I want to know why they want to leave. And secondly, welcome aboard. Here's the pen, sign the contracts, right. You know? But there might be a personal issue, you know, that happens a lot too.
So your only real concern or issue in this construct is if this prospective new client for you is actually with currently an agency that you feel is at the level of C.E.S.D. That's the only time you really care.
Yes, but again, you know, you got to remember there's a lot of talented people with smaller agencies.
Sure.
You know, that's why we go back to the other question, reading and reels are important too.
How often do you actually go visit a client on a commercial set when they're shooting one? And quite honestly, under what circumstances would you do it?
It's tough. It's tough. We try to get out there. We used to do it a lot more than we do because, you know, as an agent, you're really kind of stuck at your desk. You know, it's a race these days to get your submissions there to the agencies. There's too many people. There's too many agencies. There's 410 commercial agencies in Los Angeles. Casting directors get, and I'm not exaggerating when I say casting director, and I firsthand know this, get between 3,000 and 5,000 submissions for one role. That's one role. That's not a project. That's one role. I've got to be at my desk when that project comes out. I can't be on a set making nice with someone, you know, and be there for 2 hours. I'll miss that. I can't do it. I just can't afford to do that. I don't want to be 2 hours late with my submission.
Believe me, I'm glad you're not.
Yes, that's right.
All right.
But I will say one thing. If it's a celebrity, which we do have at the agency, we try to get out there and see them. Sure. We'll send someone to say hello.
All right. This is another common scenario, David, that happens a lot. What is your general attitude towards the actor? When they come have a meeting with you, the meeting is over with, and they tell you, okay, look, I need to hold off on making a decision because I have other agent meetings.
I have zero problem with that. There are certain times when we're really hot for someone, we really want someone, we'll say, have you made your mind up? You know, we'll kind of push the issue a little bit, but I have no problem with that. I almost want them to meet other people. We give good interviews. We're a good agency. We care about, as I told you before, about the people we talk to. I want them to experience agents who don't care as much or don't pay attention as much as in an interview, you know? We give them 100, we're there for sometimes 20 minutes, a half hour, just chit-chatting, you know? As again, it goes back to what I said before, the other agencies, half the time they're not even paying attention to what the actor's saying, you know?
Okay, David, but that's an immensely subjective statement and scenario that you just described. So if I come meet with you guys and I tell you, look, I need you to hold off and wait on my decision, how long for me are you really gonna wait?
We have a guy who's a well-known character actor. You know his face, you might not know his name. He's filming a TV show. We met him, he said, I'm going back to the TV show, guys. I have a couple more meetings. And this is about probably 3 weeks ago. We're getting a little frustrated. A little bit frustrated. You know, we're not gonna, you know, we're not gonna pass, but we're getting a little annoyed.
If he weren't on a TV show, how long?
No more than 2 years. No, a week.
A week.
A week. You know, I think it's an ample time. It's usually never that long. And at the risk of again, boy, I sounded very arrogant, don't I? Because when they leave our interview, or sometimes when we're shaking hands on the way out, and they have interviews set up, they say, a lot of the time they'll say to us, I'm going to cancel the interviews, I want to be with you guys. It's a good feeling.
Well, thank you for not only being mildly arrogant, but also for being on ActorBizGuru.com, man. Thanks.
Proud.
Yes.
Proud of my agency.
Well, there you have it. Another outstanding video from an outstanding professional in Hollywood. I can't tell you how much this information would have meant to me if I could have gotten it before I moved from Atlanta back when I started my career, or even if I could have gotten some of this stuff in the first couple of years that I lived in Hollywood. But I can tell you this, you now have it at your disposal, right at your fingertips. Be sure you take advantage of it, because whether you live on Sunset Boulevard or whether you live in Sydney, Australia, the Actor Biz Guru Library will save you tons of time and tons of money over the course of time. We look forward to seeing you again. Take care.